Matcha has exploded in popularity over the past decade. From matcha lattes at coffee shops to desserts, smoothies, and even skincare products, this vibrant green powder seems to be everywhere. But despite its popularity, many people still ask the same question: what exactly is matcha? At first glance, matcha might look like just another type of green tea. However, it's actually very different from the green tea bags most people are familiar with. Matcha is a finely ground powder made from specially grown tea leaves, and the way it's produced completely changes the way you consume tea. Unlike regular tea, where leaves are steeped in water and then discarded, matcha involves drinking the entire leaf in powdered form. This means you're consuming far more nutrients and compounds than you would with standard tea. That's one reason matcha is often praised as a superfood. In this video, we'll break down what matcha really is, where it comes from, how it's made, and why people around the world are obsessed with it. By the end, you'll understand why this ancient Japanese tea has become a global phenomenon. The origins of matcha. Matcha actually has a long and fascinating history that stretches back more than 1,000 years. Although it's strongly associated with Japan today, the earliest forms of powdered tea were first developed in China during the Tang and Song dynasties. Back then, tea leaves were steamed, compressed into bricks, and then ground into powder. Monks played a huge role in spreading powdered tea culture. Buddhist monks drank tea to stay alert during long meditation sessions, and powdered tea was especially convenient because it could be whisked directly into water. This method eventually caught the attention of Japanese monks who traveled to China to study Buddhism. One of the most important figures in matcha history was a Japanese monk named Issai. In the 12th century, he brought tea seeds and the powdered tea preparation method back to Japan. Over time, Japanese tea farmers refined the process and developed what we now recognize as matcha. Eventually, matcha became central to the Japanese tea ceremony, a ritual that emphasizes mindfulness, respect, and simplicity. Even today, matcha remains deeply tied to Japanese culture and tradition. How matcha is grown. One of the biggest things that makes matcha unique is the way the tea plants are grown. Unlike regular green tea, matcha tea plants are shaded from sunlight several weeks before harvest. Farmers place large covers over the plants to block most of the sunlight. This shading process dramatically changes the chemistry of the leaves. When the plant receives less sunlight, it produces more chlorophyll, which gives matcha its bright green color. At the same time, the leaves develop higher levels of amino acids, especially one called L-theanine. L-theanine is important because it contributes to matcha's distinctive flavor and calming effects. It gives matcha its smooth, slightly sweet taste while balancing the bitterness that tea can sometimes have. Because of this careful growing process, matcha plants require a lot more attention and labor than typical tea crops. This is one reason authentic matcha tends to be more expensive than regular green tea. How matcha is made. Once the tea leaves are ready to harvest, they are carefully picked by farmers. The youngest and most tender leaves are usually chosen for high-quality matcha because they produce a smoother flavor. After harvesting, the leaves are quickly steamed to stop oxidation. This step is important because it preserves the vibrant green color and the beneficial compounds in the tea. Next, the stems and veins are removed, leaving only the soft leaf material. These processed leaves are called tencha, which is essentially the raw ingredient used to make matcha powder. Finally, the tencha leaves are slowly ground into an extremely fine powder using traditional stone mills. The grinding process is slow and delicate, often producing only a small amount of matcha each hour. Why matcha is different from regular green tea. At first glance, matcha might seem similar to other green teas, but the way it's consumed makes a huge difference. With regular green tea, you steep leaves in hot water and then throw the leaves away after brewing. With matcha, the leaves are ground into powder and whisked directly into the water. That means when you drink matcha, you're actually consuming the entire tea leaf instead of just an infusion. This difference significantly increases the amount of nutrients you receive. Matcha contains higher levels of antioxidants, vitamins, and plant compounds compared to many traditional green teas. Because you're consuming the whole leaf, the flavor experience is also different. Matcha tends to be richer, creamier, and more intense than regular brewed tea. The unique flavor of matcha. One of the most recognizable characteristics of matcha is its unique flavor. High-quality matcha has a smooth, slightly sweet taste with a creamy texture. Many people describe it as having an earthy or grassy flavor. This distinctive taste comes largely from the shading process used during cultivation. The increased amino acids help create a savory flavor profile known as umami. Umami is often described as a rich, savory taste similar to broth or mushrooms. Lower quality matcha, however, can taste quite bitter. This usually happens when older leaves are used or when the powder isn't finely ground. That's why matcha is often categorized into grades. Ceremonial grade matcha is typically used for traditional tea ceremonies, while culinary grade matcha is more commonly used in cooking, baking, and drinks. Why matcha is considered a superfood. Matcha is often praised for its impressive nutritional profile. Because you consume the entire tea leaf, matcha provides a concentrated source of antioxidants. One of the most well-known antioxidants in matcha is EGCG, a compound that has been studied for its potential health benefits. Antioxidants help neutralize harmful molecules called free radicals in the body. Matcha also contains vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that may support overall health. Some studies suggest it may support heart health, metabolism, and cognitive function. However, it's important to remember that matcha isn't a miracle cure. While it can be part of a healthy diet, it works best alongside balanced nutrition and lifestyle habits. Matcha's unique energy boost. Many people switch from coffee to matcha because of the way it affects energy levels. Matcha does contain caffeine, but it behaves differently in the body compared to coffee. The presence of L-theanine slows the absorption of caffeine. This creates a more gradual and sustained energy boost rather than the quick spike and crash that coffee sometimes causes. Because of this combination, many people describe matcha as providing calm alertness. You feel awake and focused, but without feeling jittery or anxious. This balanced effect is one reason matcha has become popular among students, professionals, and people looking for a gentler alternative to coffee. Modern matcha around the world. Although matcha has deep roots in Japanese culture, it has now become a global trend. Cafes around the world serve matcha lattes, iced matcha drinks, and matcha-based desserts. You can now find matcha in everything from ice cream and cakes to cookies and smoothies. Its vibrant green color makes it visually appealing, which has helped it gain popularity on social media. The global wellness movement has also boosted matcha's reputation. Many people associate it with healthy living, mindfulness, and natural energy. Even though matcha has become trendy, its origins remain rooted in centuries-old traditions that emphasize simplicity, patience, and respect for tea. Matcha may look like a simple green powder, but its story is surprisingly complex. From its ancient origins in China to its deep cultural roots in Japan, matcha represents centuries of tradition and craftsmanship. What makes matcha truly unique is how it's grown, processed, and consumed. The shading process, the careful grinding of leaves, and the practice of drinking the entire tea leaf all contribute to its distinctive character. Today, matcha bridges the gap between tradition and modern lifestyle. Whether it's enjoyed during a quiet tea ceremony or as a trendy matcha latte, this tea continues to captivate people around the world. So the next time you see matcha on a cafe menu or in a grocery store, you'll know that it's far more than just green tea powder. It's a drink with a rich history, unique science, and a global following.